I'm here today to talk about the cooperative citizen-led one-stop shops for renovation, the importance about it, and the benefits. I'm Matthias Ghyselen, indeed. You pronounce it right, thanks. I'm from Belgium, as you might already heard. I'm an engineer in renewables. Before I worked in an energy engineering consultancy firm on energy performance of buildings, but about 6 years ago I saw the light and I wanted to be part of the system change. I wanted to be the transition, so I started working for Energent. Energent is a renewable energy cooperative, and I'm working on the division where we provide service to citizens around renovation. Okay. The outline for today, the presentation didn't change, I think. I sent one before, but I will today give the concrete example of Energent as a local example of what a renewable energy cooperative can look like. Alone, we won't make the energy transition possible, so we need to join forces. That's why I will also talk about Rescoop EU. Rescoop EU is the federation, European Federation of Citizen Energy Communities. After that intro, we can make the bridge to citizen-led renovation. That's where citizen energy communities provide services to citizens about renovation. And in the end, I will have a word on the OSR-Coop project. We'll also have a workshop in the afternoon if you want to deep dive in that. Here, this one is there. I'm curious which slides I will see. It's going to be fun, yes. Energent, we exist since 11 years. We started like a lot of renewable energy cooperatives with the idea of citizens who jointly own and participate in energy in renewable energy production, but also in energy efficiency. So we have a division that works on investing with the money from, or the capital from the community, from the citizens, to invest it in windmills, in solar plants on rooftops, but also in collective heating systems to provide heat as a service to the homes and the flats. Powered on heat pumps, of course. So that's one division of Energent, is fully focused on investment projects. I'm here today about retrofitting, so we also have a division on renovation service towards citizens. And a third division is also on innovation projects, where we do studies together with universities or other partners around energy management systems, grid flexibility. Can we use assets from members for having a stable energy grid, for instance, and also studies around heat pumps and all. So that's Energent. I'm not alone. We're 24 people, 15 people on the payroll, 9 freelancers. We have a lot of engineers, architects, and energy consultants, but we also have people with a background in psychology, linguistics, history, graphic design, and others, so it's a really nice place to work. As you all know, we need a lot of workers in energy retrofitting, and it's a time-consuming business. So 2/3 of them are working on our renovation services. And here I will show some figures about that renovation service that we have in Belgium. We have on the top left is the numbers of our group purchase on solar panels. So it was an idea of, we started small as just volunteers. Then we had our first employee. He came with the idea, okay, there are a lot of people wanting to buy solar panels, but they're thrown into the market and they don't know where to go. So that's where we stepped in. We selected trusted partners or trusted contractors that would deliver the work, and we gave advice to people. We gave advice to more than 4,000 people about solar panels on their own roof. And today we have 1,700 installations installed by that project. So it's the people themselves who pay it, but we give them advice and give them the goods contractors. We do the same with renovation interventions, so insulation, glazing, windows, heat pumps. There, we already helped 2,000 people dealing with their renovation plans. Sometimes they only do one intervention. Sometimes they combine 2, 3, or 4. But all of them get an assessment, the home assessment, and they're shown the priorities and the next steps that they could do after the first intervention. So it's a low threshold to enter the project, but the goal is to motivate people to go further, to explain them why it's important, and to make them see that it's possible. Also to empower them that they are self-reliant, to know, okay, I can deal with this. I'm not alone anymore, I have someone to help me. Yeah. As an energy cooperative, it's important that we have our local network. We have 2,000 members that participate in our community shares. We also have partnerships with 24 local contractors to deliver all that renovation measures we propose. And we're providing our service to 58 municipalities in Eastern Flanders. So that's Energent. It's a local example of what a citizen-led renewable energy cooperative can be. But as I said before, alone, we're not big enough. So that's where it comes in, ResCoop EU. ResCoop EU is a European federation about renewable energy cooperatives and citizen energy communities. And as you see there, yeah, it's about people getting together and cooperating on energy transition. It also started around 11 years ago. And up till today, there are over 2,000 cooperatives in the federation. They're not all members because some are members themselves at an individual corporation, but some are also through the federations or the national federations. Here is a little map on where they are situated. If you go to the website, you can zoom in and look if there are cooperatives nearby. Here the picture, the dots do a bit strange because there are a lot of in France as well, but they're diverted towards Belgium. I don't know why. I have nothing to do with it. But it's a European federation, so it's not an EU thing. You see it because there's a lot of partners in the UK, but there is also partners starting in Serbia, Bosnia, Northern Macedonia. So the federation is also working. It's to develop it more in Eastern Europe, to have more cooperatives starting there or citizen energy communities. ResCoop as a federation, of course, provides service to its members. It helps startup of new corporations, and it's also about exchanging and working together in different projects. They also promote the ResCoop business model throughout Europe. The ResCoop business model is on the International Cooperation Association principles. I don't know if anyone of you know them, but it's about open membership, member control. For instance, we have 2,000 members. Some of them have 1 share, some of them have 20 shares, but everyone only has 1 vote. So that's an important principle. Another principle is that you cannot pay high interests. So if you make a lot of profit with your, I didn't explain that, when we do third-party investments, the profit flows back to our members. If we would be really good, then we could have more than 6% interest. That's not possible. It's blocked at 6%. If there's more profit, it needs to flow back to new projects, strengthening the local community to have even more impact. It's important, the interesting, you could ask why is it necessary? We, for instance, we have 3% interest every year, but it's important to bring in capital to be able to build new windmills, solar plants, and heat as a service collective installations. So that's why the interest is important, to build up capacity, to build resources, to have even more impact. And OSR-Coop EU is also important. We all can act local as individual citizen communities, but it's good that they're also on the higher level. There are national, it's another slide. There are national federations, but on the EU level, there's also the European Federation to do lobby work to influence the European policymakers, which is important as well. This one I took out, but it's in. Here you see the value of energy communities. I think I was amazed by the presentations before me. It was really interesting. And here the first presentation was about strengthening communities, empowering communities. So that's the reason also for energy cooperatives is to, together with citizens and communities, tackle environmental crises that otherwise would be too big to solve. It's about local ownership, but also what's really important is if you have the people, if people join you in the energy transition, they get along in the story, so you're fostering social acceptance for renewable energy and other energy transition projects, which is important. You have the NIMBY, not in my backyard, with windmills. If you can find people that are joining you and participating in the windmill, if they get the revenues, if there are not only revenues for the members, but also revenues flowing back to the community around the windmill, you create social acceptance for these transitions. I will drink a bit. Yeah, and it's always also about local. We try as much as possible to work with local craftsmen, local contractors. Then I was going to bridge to citizen-led renovation. So if you have citizen energy communities or renewable energy cooperatives that provide that provide renovation service, that is what is citizen-led renovation. And then I changed around the slide, so I will go to where I am. Depending on the matureness of the citizen energy communities, it can involve different services. It can be just about information sharing, making people aware of what's needed in their houses, but it can also go all the way up till a real one-stop shop for renovation. That are the services. What is defining citizen-led renovation? It's always citizens are involved in the process and in the governance. It's about empowering people to feel that they feel self-reliant, that they can deal with the renovation, because that's also, or at least in Belgium, sometimes a problem that people don't know how to start, and they need someone who empowers them to believe that they can. But it's also about citizens as members can be in the governance of our initiatives. That's the reason why we act as trusted partners. It's about building resources as well. We're not profit-driven, we're impact-driven. So the bigger we get, the more impact we can have. That's also important, and it's important that it's local. We want local impact, we want to grow locally. So that's, in short, citizen-led renovation. And then a short word on the Stop Renovation Coop. It's a European project, a live project for 3 years. We're just starting the last year, and it's aimed at creating integrated home renovation services, but being citizen-led. And the aim is also to replicate it across Europe. We have a consortium of, the first 3 are citizen energy communities from Belgium, Ireland, and France. We also have the European Federation of OSR-Coops, and there's also Snap Solutions from Portugal, who is administrative coordinating. And we also brought in the expertise of PPR. PPR is a people-powered retrofit. They are from Manchester and have a lot of expertise in service design and in retrofitting. We have Monica here from PPR. She will be there also in the afternoon session. So actually, it was about service designing and creating new services to boost deep retrofit. There are pilots running, and now the goal is also to replicate it throughout the partners in Europe over the European Federation network. This is about one-stop shop, but I think it's clear for everyone. And where we are, the pilots are implemented, and now it's about replicating. So the partners in Ireland, France, and Belgium will replicate to others, and it comes from the network. There are also already some in Portugal starting with it, in Croatia, so it's growing, and it's nice to see where it's evolving. Okay, here are some links, and then I'm ready.